Hey, what's up guys? John Rettinger here with a review for you of the Lenovo S10 netbook. This will run you $349 to $399 from Lenovo's website. I'll put a link in the sidebar. And that about $50 price difference is really only a 3 to 6 cell battery. Those are the only customization options that you have. So this thing will be running Windows XP with 1 gig of RAM using Intel's Atom processor, which clocks in at 1.6 gigahertz. And other than that, it's pretty standard netbook fare. So let me talk a little bit about netbooks in general, and then I'll get into the review of the device. In my mind, the netbooks really serve to bridge the gap between smartphone, like an iPhone, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile, whatever you have, and a full-featured laptop. Often you want the ability to type out emails or type out texts that you have a hard time doing on a smartphone with either a small keyboard or a non-existing virtual keyboard. You have a hard time doing that on a smaller device. But you don't want to lug around your big laptop. Maybe it's too expensive and you don't want to risk breaking it all the time. Maybe it's too heavy or it's too big. Whatever it is, you want the ability to have a keyboard, have a little bit larger screen than you would on your smartphone, but you don't want to carry your full laptop. And that's really, I think, the sweet spot that netbooks here are trying to hit. So some of the things that I do like about, at least this particular in the Lenovo, is I do like the finish. I think it looks very professional with the glossy red, although it is a fingerprint and dust magnet. I do like that it's got a VGA out, so you can hook it up to another monitor. This is just have a 10.2 inch screen, which certainly can be a little bit on the small side. I like that it's got a a standard SD card slot for expandable storage, which is quite nice. And I also like that it's got an expansion port on the side. Although this does not use a solid state drive, so it does have a 160 gigabyte spinning platter. So there's plenty of room for storage. That's not really going to be an issue for you. So some of the things that I do like about the device. I do like the portability. I can throw this in my bag and not really feel the weight that I would if I was carrying my standard laptop. It's nice to be able to type out a quick email or write a document, or in some people's cases, if you want to update a resume, whatever you're doing, it's nice to have a keyboard in front of you. No matter what you say about smartphones, the keyboards are always cramped, and it's never the best way to write a full document or edit a full document. It's really just a quick solution. And the netbook really takes that a step further, and I really did enjoy using it and playing with it. The internet browsing experience is really the same as you'd expect on really most other laptops or desktops. It was smooth, it was crisp, no problem. Although one issue of contention, I'll talk about this a little bit later, is screen resolution with these netbooks. It was great to be able to edit documents on the go. If I was going to a coffee shop, I could always just throw this with me, not have to worry about really breaking anything. If I carry my MacBook with me, I'm always a little bit extra careful with this. It's a little more rugged, and it's not that big an investment. You're just not that concerned. Although certainly you do want to protect it. Battery life with the 6 cell battery, which you'll see has just a little bit of heft, was absolutely stellar. With the brightness turned down, even wireless off, I was able to get 6 to almost 7 hours of battery life. However, with brightness up and wireless on, which I assume most of the time you guys will have, you will get somewhere between the 3 to 4.5 hour range, which is actually pretty nice for a small, low power laptop. So some of the things that I don't like about this, and some of the things are pretty big netbook gripes in general. The keyboard is cramped. It is a tiny, tiny, tiny keyboard. As you guys can see, and see my fingers by comparison. There's no getting used to this. No matter how much you type or how much you do, you're never going to get used to typing on that small a keyboard. You can make do and you can make it work, but you're going to have tons of errors, and it is going to get a little bit on the annoying side. And your fingers may cramp if you're typing a little bit. Something to keep in mind, I would not recommend writing a 40-page paper or report on a netbook. Not going to cut it. Screen size, and this is one of the things that I really sacrifice with getting a small package. 10.2 inch screen, there is not that much real estate. There is a lot of scrolling going on, since you can't really show that much right there. And speaking of scrolling, also take a look at that tiny trackpad. It's also very hard to navigate. So if you do want to do any sort of serious work, an external mouse and keyboard really are a must, taking advantage of one of the USB ports there for a wireless dongle. Really is, in my mind, a requirement. Resolution on this guy is not very good as well, so you're not getting the most use of your real estate, unfortunately. Now, one thing that I was very disappointed with the Lenovo, and I think it's going to be the case of all netbooks running the 1.6 gigahertz Atom processor, is do not even for a second think you can watch any sort of video. Don't think about watching YouTube videos, Hulu, any of that, not going to work. Even over a very fast connection, YouTube videos struggled, they lagged. The audio was good, but the video was 10, 15 seconds behind if it even played. On YouTube and Hulu, it was just completely unwatchable. So I think that's more a symptom of the low power processor and more of the computer itself. Certainly 1 gig of RAM is plenty, and XP can obviously run all those things fine. It's definitely something to keep in mind. If you think you're going to get one of these to go watch your YouTube videos or Hulu or streaming content on the go, think again. You may want to spend a couple extra $100 to get a laptop that can do that for you. I also wish there were more configuration options on Lenovo's site. Really, the only thing you can do is pick a color. There's not that much. You can get pink, white, black, or blue, and that's really about it. A 3 or 6 cell battery, and those are your options. There's no other configuration choices. It would have been nice to maybe have the option to upgrade to 2 gigs of RAM, or if you wanted to pick an Ubuntu or a Linux-based operating system to run on this, it would have been nice, but Lenovo does not offer that currently right now. I also really like, as I demonstrated in a previous video, their instant on operating system they have here. I actually found it to be very robust and really very capable as far as browsing and Skype and even instant messaging. So if you guys are looking for an instant on operating system, I think what Lenovo offers is probably one of the best. So overall, on a 1 to 5 scale, if I have to rank this just on a netbook scale, certainly it's not fair to compare it with other laptops, I give it a very solid 3.5. And it's missing that 1.5 extra stars just based on keyboard real estate, mouse real estate, and the lack of customization and choices with it. I really would have liked that. But for $349 to $399, it is a nice deal, and there's some coupon codes floating around to drop that price down even a little bit further. It is a very nice option. It's lightweight, it feels durable, quality of build is nice, and I can recommend it certainly. So guys, this is just my first foray into netbooks, and it certainly was an exciting one. What do you guys think about netbooks and Lenovo in general? Do you have one? Do you want to get one? Are you looking at netbooks or no interest? What do you guys think? Please leave your comments down below and I'll be sure to read them. For exclusive content, be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/John4Lakers. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.